Hello, hello. Good to see everybody. What is. There we go. That works. Sorry, technical difficulties. I don't really know how to run this thing, so you have to just bear with me. A lot of things I don't know how to run this week. Finally got the website running. Guess there's that. It's a good thing, right? All right. Uncle Guns, good to see you're listening. Javier, fucking Memphis. Good Lord. That sounds terrible. Let's see, since I didn't have a lot of, well, I guess I can't raise that much higher. Tom Hollybear, hello, sir. Colt Manny, hello, hello. All right. Today's live chat brought to you by Eberly Stock. They make stuff. Behind me, it's an F7 kite pack. That is going to be in the, maybe not the next, but it's going to be in the Packapalooza playlist once I review it. So far, knock on wood, so good. Adam Hall, Tim Larson, hello, hello. All right. Let's see. So yeah, Eberly Stock doing good stuff. I had a pile of stuff from them in the mail this week, and I guess no, it was last week. I think it came Thursday. Came Thursday last week, and we had class Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All went awesome, by the way. And I really didn't get a chance to look at the stuff till this week. And I think that pack is going to be. I'll probably use it on the next bug out, but it won't really be for a bug out bag. But it'll just give me a chance to put it through its paces. Eric Wilkinson, hello, sir. All right. Speaking of that next bug out, that is Bug the Fuck Out 19 is also our study group 68. 16 September. Last open study group style Bug the Fuck Out if you want to get in on it. There will be one Bug the Fuck Out 20 is going to happen in the spring, May sometime. And but that is going to be for Bug the Fuck Out alumni only. There will be no open invites, come join us kind of thing. So with that, what do we got going on tonight? So I got 0 questions that came in on the Facebook page. So we don't have those to look forward to unless you type some up in the comment box. But the updates, TJ, hello, sir, are the website is up. It is not finished. Like the known associates page has no other instructors, no brands, no affiliate links. I got to build all that. I ain't much of a fucking website guy. Email is working inbound. Like if you email me, I get it. If I send it back out, if you have a Gmail address, it gets marked as spam and usually just bounces right back. That's what has been happening so far. So I had to go through some hoops with Google to get that like checked off as not bullshit, not spoof emails or whatever. But they said it could take 24 to 48 hours for that to like kick in. So if you send me something, I may email you back like from a personal email. PJ, you may list your question. Brian Stevens, hello, sir. Wilson's working on a macro module for the regular 365 slide. So you could get the 17 round grip on the short slide. Shouldn't be hard to do. I know guys that are taking the regular macro slide and just chopping off that section. Crystal, hello, dear. Ooh, that was my belly making noise. If you heard it, I apologize. What else is missing on the new website? We have no blog. I can go back. I have to basically just cut and paste all of the blog entries. So it'll happen. You just have to give me a minute. However, in the meantime, if I can do this correctly, copy, paste, there is a new blog article out talking about gun guys, how they drive me crazy. Sling attachment points. Close together, far apart, same side versus opposite side of stock rail. Thoughts and receiver mounted ones, SWAT guys like, etc. Scott Wexler, hello, sir. TJ, we'll just go ahead and answer that question now, because why not? Because if I expect to wait until the question period, I'll have lost it. So there are basically two options, 2.5 options on the ass end of your sling, and 2 options on the front end of your sling. And that is close to the receiver or at the end of the stock. And the half is around the other side of the stock. And on the front, it's the same, close to the receiver or at the end of the rail. And the further apart they are, if you're wearing the sling when you aim in, the more steady and stable the rifle will be. It is also the more difficult it is to switch hands, switch shoulders, and is less mobile. People like what they like. I prefer on the receiver, like at the end plate, and the closest spot I can hook the sling on the rail to the receiver. So it's like closer to a single point, which are not any good at all. Like I remember we used to joke that if you had a 3-point sling, like we should just cut it so that you can't use it. And I pretty much feel that way about most single point slings now too. But it really comes down to if you want to shoot the rifle while wearing the sling, are you looking for mobility or stability? And your sling positions will alter that. Also, like on the ass end, the closer it is to the receiver, the higher the rifle rides. So if you got like a 16-inch gun with a can on it and you're 5'4" and some change, you probably don't want the sling attached to the ass end of the stock because you'll be dragging in the dirt. That's my thoughts on the sling attachment points. Go through my list of stuff. Oh, going email. Yep. So the one of the other things I wanted to mention here, I'm scrolling down through. I have a bunch of links handy just for in case I need a link. But study group 67 happening next month. Tomorrow the email will go out. It is going to be a rifle building party in the morning. So we'll start earlier, give us a couple hours to put rifles together. We have some armorers tools and some armorers on site, and we'll build some rifles in the morning, grill some meat and probably smoke some meat, have a big happy lunch, and then move to the outdoors for the painting party where we'll throw some tarps down and bring out all the spray paints and the stencils and et cetera, et cetera. That is the plan. Bulletin. Hello, sir, Mike. Right on, TJ. So anyhow, yes. And that will be, by the way, you want to know when 67 was? Study group 67. That will be 15 July, unless we change it because we had it narrowed down to the 15th or the 22nd. And I don't know if we ever actually finalized it. The soft floppy stencils, TJ, Primary Arms. Primary Arms makes those stencils out of like some sort of silicone sheet stuff. Oh, I know what. The rifle painting party. So yeah, we're gonna in the morning take shit like this and turn it into a whole gun. This is as close as I could put to a live gun on YouTube without them just. I think it's a Bravo company upper with a Gemtech bolt carrier and a Magpul dust port cover and a super awesome charging handle. I didn't even know until recently that you could get a gas buster anodized in matte flat dark earth. It's like a little kid because the running the charging handle wears all the paint off, so if the underlying anodizing isn't black, it looks cooler. Shinde, hello, sir. Oh, that's awesome, TJ. I'm going to bring some Alumahide too for the painting party in case anyone wants to do a Magpul FDE or OD base coat. But the way Alumahide works, they'll probably just get the base coat done if that's the case. I know last week there was some discussion about SIRT pistols and real live magazines. And one of the viewers said that a real Glock mag won't fit in a Glock SIRT pistol. I have a M&P SIRT pistol right here. And this is a regular 17 round, well, with a 3-round extension from Samson real mag in the SIRT pistol. So at least the M&P version, it works. So I remember we discussed it and it was way across the room and it had a SIRT mag in it, or maybe I had it over here, but I didn't have a real mag. And now there is a real mag and it fits in a SIRT gun. I'll just go ahead and put that in this holster. Oh, what holster is that, you say? The holster is a First Wave Holsters custom shop. It is just the M&P shade, like outside the or inside the waistband holster, like strong side. But it is the custom shopped because it is in, I would call it zebra, but the guy who is getting the holster calls it snow tiger. I don't know if there is such a thing as a snow tiger. It's not like tiger stripe camo snow. It's like a tiger, you know, like tiger. And if you're curious as to who that is going to, I have a hint. See if I can't find the picture. I think it's this one. Does that give everybody like a clue as to who the holster might be going to? So yeah, that's going out tomorrow's mail. That'll be pretty cool. That was all the stuff I had for show and tell too. Yeah, TJ, the last painting party I thought was pretty good. Had a blast. You said it, not me. I'm just going with the flow here. Speaking of holsters, the giveaway, the Q2 giveaway, is for a instructor holster in Rhodesian brushstroke camo for any of the pistols that the instructor holster is available for. There is a link right there where you can sign up and like visit the website or visit Instagram or some stuff and get entered in the drawing. If you win, you tell us what pistol you want it for, and then a couple weeks later you have a holster. Well, we could get away without using the drop cloths and just paint Mike's yard with camo rifle outlines. What else we got in the holster front? There is a new option. So I was chatting with the fellows over at First Wave about my deep concealment rig, which we're now calling the Deep 6, because I inadvertently called it that last week. Or 2 weeks ago, I wore it to a concert and was surprised how thorough my pat down was. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys last week or not, but the there was no wands or walk through metal detectors. It was just pat downs for everyone. And the home slice who was doing my pat down put his thumb on top of my belt, both thumbs, and his finger on the bottom of my belt all the way around me, and then brought his hands around together to like his pinkies touched, um, and did not find my pistol in the deep 6 rig. So now we will be uh, offering it to a select few number of people. It will only be for one type of gun, and you will have to sign an NDA if you want to buy the holster. Matt, thank you, sir. It is good to see that it is up and running. It'll still be a couple weeks before I get it all flushed out. Mike, that is a great idea. If the next time we do a concealed carry for scofflaws class, I should get at least, well, I can just bring mine, and then if anybody wants one, they can order it there. But there are a few people who already have expressed interest. Shinde is one, TJ is one. Somebody from last weekend's class is one who hasn't mentioned it online, so I won't dime them out. Oh wait, not last week's class, the week before. Last week's class was Fish from Active Threat Medicine the week before. Somebody there asked about one, so they will be a coming. There is some like specialty hardware from Discrete Carry Concepts that I couldn't even begin to tell you off the top of my head what that hardware costs. So before those folks are reached out to and their NDA sent out to them, I need to like figure out what the holster will cost. But it is going to be a restricted sale item as opposed to a not sale item. All right. Hitting shit all over the place. This little table is not big enough. All right. That literally is everything that I had on the list that I had to talk about. End of this month, Fish 1 and 2 in Ohio. It is quite full, not packed. You could still get in, but there's a lot of folks going, so the space is limited. I may actually, man, I guess I might bring Benjamin with me as a bitch to like set stuff up, but he actually starts a real job this weekend, like school's out, so he might not be able to. Tim, Steven, you're both like messaging. Are you in the same room together or anything? So anyhow, yeah, Fish 1 and 2 in Ohio is coming up. I know there are like 3 people who have mentioned that they are interested in coming, and if all of them say they're coming, there won't be any spots left, but they haven't like officially signed up. If you'd like to bump one of them, you could get on the website and sign up for it. I can't even post the link because all the links are new now, but it's there. So Steven's been lasering around his house since he got home from Fish. That tells me he hasn't returned Tim's mantis yet. Likewise, if anybody that's coming to Fish 1 or 2 or Fish 3 and 4 the following weekend here in PA, and you want a mantis, I have some for sale. The price will be better than MSRP because I offer a discount if you buy it along with the class. However, if you want one and you're coming to like Fish 3 and 4 and you expect me to just have one for sale, I might not, because if they all sell in Ohio, then I won't have time to get any more. So anybody out there thinking about coming to 3 and 4, if you want to buy an extra mantis, a first mantis, however you want to do that, reach out ahead of time because I want to make sure I set one aside for you. I too have been lasering around my house since fish because I also laser around my house all the time. So the room I'm sitting in right now, I call it the studio because, well, we film here. And there are like some shelves and stuff with like camera gear and shit on it for filming crap. But there are also like little reduced size IPSC targets on 3 of the 4 walls for even when I'm up here filming, I can pick up a laser gun and get some practice in. I think it's super, super valuable training tool. What's the lead time to get one in time for fish 3 and 4? Well, I have some now, and if you want me to earmark you one, I can. I just won't take it to Ohio with me. You just have to let me know before I go to Ohio on the 20 something. I can order more, but not the last ones I ordered, the pile before that I ordered, they were out of green laser modules, and I had to wait like 3 weeks before I got them. So if it were fish 3, 4, and I had to order them, if they were out of modules again, we may or may not. Ruh-roh. Awesome. Look at that. My fucking moderator popped in with the link. Thank you, sir. I don't think that's the same URL as it was before in the old website. And it just hit me that all my notes have the old links on them. And Mike realized he has to be logged in as Mike and not as Bulletin. Awesome. I think we have a line on a couple of places that we might be able to do some more fishing study groups. And whether they be study groups like Tremis Dynamics official study groups or that other outfit that does study groups up this way, I could give you a hint. But in this live stream, I've already given you a hint about who they are. And if you don't know who they are, then you're not ready to come to their study groups. But we have a line on a facility to maybe getting a line on possibly a facility to do some of those in. It would be a great way to maximize training on a budget. Oh, Mike just reminded me that all my links on Bulletin will not work. If I only knew somebody at Bulletin could go clean those up for me. John says he wants to come to a study group. Bro, you're always welcome to come to a study group. Maybe we'll have a study group in Florida after Dynamic Pistol. Because, well, we know we're going to do a study group on the day after. All right, Steven, I'll put your name on one down there. Well, John, you could come up for the muster and hang out for a few days, get some trainer in, see all the peeps, do an impromptu study group one of those evenings. In fact, I have a fucking idea on when to do the study group. I'm going to have to talk to those other guys that do study groups up here and maybe do one after Sonny's conflict management class that evening, because we won't like physically be drained from the class. We'll be mentally drained from it. And maybe then we can go do some study group and stuff. Adam wants to come to the study group. He's gonna tends to do the virtual study group once we flesh out the virtual study group. And guys, literally, like my last 3 weeks got all fucking derailed with the website thing. And since it ain't over yet, like putting together much of anything else also was kind of on the back burner until the website's up and running, like completely. The good news is most of the things, like the page with all the brands that we recommend and the FAQ, like it's all was done. I just have to cut it or copy it, paste it, and then format it to fit the new site. But I'm not a web guy, and fuck, I couldn't even get the damn thing to go live. So you just have to bear with me. TJ wants to know if he signed up for the muster. And I can probably bring that up on this tiny little screen in front of me. Muster 2023. No, you have not. Oh, Stephen can't make it to the muster. We actually changed the weekend of the muster this year, just so Zach Bush from Definitive Training Solutions could make it. And TJ, when you sign up for the muster, I can't send you the welcome email for a couple of days, up to a couple of days, while Google like approves my work email address. So again, bear with me. I keep sending my personal email an email like every couple of hours to see if it bounces, and they're all bouncing back flagged as spam or spoof email while I wait for it to authenticate. That's what it's doing. It's authenticating. Man, look at that. My fucking moderator favoritism was like a seesaw, and it's kind of going the Mike way and not so much the Crystal way. He's on top of it today. All right, let's see what else we got. I don't think I have any other cool shit to talk about. But, yep, none of those fucking links will even work. Nope. That's it. You guys better post up some fucking questions, or this is gonna be a short live stream. Well, strangely enough, Mike, she did check in earlier. She must have just checked back out. She was one of the first few people to pop in. Will Crutcher, hello, sir. You're late and I'm early. Well, not early, but like we'll probably end early because nobody's got any good questions. We had over half a dozen people in Fish last weekend, and so I'll give you the AAR for that. We did 4 hours on Friday, 10 hours on Saturday, and 7 hours on Sunday, and it was good. Technically did about 6 hours on Sunday because we were pretty much cleaned up at 5 o'clock when they were closing. It was pretty good. Oh, see, all kinds of questions. So now let's go with those. Instead of giving you an AAR in a fish class, you could all just come take it. Steven's looking forward to fish 3 and 4 with a battle buddy he could actually potentially use it with. Tim could have came to fish 1 and 2. He didn't though. So Javier says he saw one of my old rifle setup videos. What made me discard the ready mag? So it's still downstairs. Turns out I didn't really care about having an extra mag on the gun. Like I'd never would refresh it. And for a bit there, the idea was, well, it's the rifle beside the bed. It's got 60 rounds on board. And if there's a malfunction, there's it's usually magazine related. So there's a chance to put a new one in. And since I had switched all the way over to PMags, you know what I don't get a lot of is magazine malfunctions. Especially like I use the M3 PMags with a window in it for like my go time ammo. It's so different from all my training mags. Like I can see ammo in it and was like, oh, that's good stuff, not training ammo. And since I don't use the good mags for training, they don't even get beat up. So I wasn't too concerned with the mag being a problem and me not having a spare. And so having that extra mag on there was just, an extra piece of stuff bolted to the gun and that I didn't really ever use anyway. I mean, I still have it and I could go back and use it. It was just an extra pound and a half of weight with a loaded mag in it and made the gun really fucking wide. Just didn't see the need. Yes, breaking up TJ into 3 days did make it better. And unfortunately, like when we travel this class to Ohio and later in the year to Paducah, it's not really an option. However, Paducah has the option that we're not limited to like an 8-hour day. Like, oh, it closes at 5 and we got to be cleaned up and out. So those days will be long, like probably 2 10-hour days instead of 2 8-hour days. Patriot Smokes. I am hoping to get Yan to come out to fish at the end of the month and get a box of Patriot Smokes from him. Fingers crossed. Favorite tactic or technique to teach within the fish curriculum? That's a good one. Like there are some things, decoupling of the rifle for shooting on the move, but it's not really from the fish curriculum. But so like directly from the fish curriculum would be footwork / stance and how we can change it to maximize using it inside and around the pieces of terrain commonly found inside of a house. That would be my favorite thing because it like seeing some light bulbs, like ping. Oh, if we do it this way, which I never would have thought to do, this works out pretty good. Any gun close to making it to the approved list? I don't think so. I don't think I've seen anybody bring a lot of the same new gun, and I'm teaching less and less classes, so probably a Mantis Blackbeard makes the list. The people have been bringing a lot of those. Moving at the point man, wingman. Yeah. Move like a ninja. That's also good. The great thing about Paducah, there's nothing else to do there but train. Ain't that the truth? I don't even know if they sell food in Paducah. I was there for, like I came on Friday and checked out the range, taught on Saturday and Sunday, and the only food I consumed in Paducah, I brought myself from whatever town is north of Paducah, which is where I stayed. Oh, Tim Larson asks a great question. Are they any other classes in the works to be added to? And after that, he says, our repertoire to our repertoire. My repertoire. So any new classes coming up? So like new classes this year that weren't on the curriculum before are Smash Mouth Pistol, and Shooting and Moving Carbine Workshop, and Fish 3 and 4. Although the curriculum for those has been written since last year, it's just the first time we're running them is July. So that's a lot of new stuff, I think. I hear fireworks. A little early for that. More Paducah, Kentucky. Is there a place to do stuff in Paducah, Kentucky? Hey, so here's the cool thing. If you guys want to do a fish class somewhere, if we omit the final X where we use UTM and just convert it over to a just mantis, because we do the final on day 1, the final on day 2 is UTM. The rest is all Blackbeard. You could do it anywhere. If it were like an old warehouse or someplace abandoned, we could run the UTM as well. I mean, if people don't care about UTM, little divots on drywall and paint marks or whatever. So Paducah, Kentucky would be on the potential list if somebody had like a place. But it doesn't have to be a live fire range for fish. Just saying. Would I ever use any threat, non-threat target stencils for classes? So I've had good and bad luck with target stencils. So like there's like a spray paint ones where it's like a gun or hands. And the problem is they're not remotely photorealistic when you do like a spray thing. It's no different than it's like shoot the red, not the blue. It's, just a fictitious thing, which has to do some discrimination, but it's not making a decision. It's because you're not seeing like people with stuff. And then they do the photorealistic targets, and they make ones where like the hands have different things you can put over it. So you have like a cutout of a guy with a beer can, and you put that over the hand with the pistol. So now he's holding a beer can. The problem is because they're 2-dimensional, they really aren't awesome either. Because as it turns out, just having the print of something in someone's hand isn't any more realistic than writing the word gun on a cardboard target. Because when we look at things with the human eye, with our eyes, and then our mind processes that, the shape of the 3-dimension is just as important as the colors. And when it's a picture of a beer can or a gun, you only get the colors. So it's a very neutered version of threat, no threat. So we've used them before and we've had somewhat luck with it. What's better is when we switch over to the force on paper with UTM, using people who may or may not be threats. And we utilized some of that last weekend in Fish 2. We had people who were not threats in some of the final exercises. Colt Manny, yes, Childress. That's where I stayed, and that's where I ate. Adam, the Shawnee Tactical people were planning to move to Paducah, and they were in the, like, they had bought property and started clearing it, and there were picture updates. And then when the Wuhan hit, I guess that all fell apart. I don't know if it was like business partners or bank loans. I don't know the details. But I talked to the Shawnee guys at Jerry's class, talked to Jeff Ledbetter there at Jerry's class, and he said that was a no-go. And Stephen points out as well, having the unexpected unknown threw him for a loop in the final. And like it was meant to do. All right. There were some good questions there. Check that. Okay. So if we ain't got much, it's only 10 minutes short. You ain't got questions. I ain't got answers. We can wrap this thing up. I know there's a delay, so I'm kind of hanging on for just a second to see if somebody types something. If not, I'm going to call it good. I'm going to take Bigger's holster downstairs and mail it out to him tomorrow. Steven wants to know where he can find this approved list. Well, I used to have a link on the FAQ of the old website, but since there's a new website and there is no FAQ, I can give you the rundown of the approved list. Zach Bush, hello, sir. Approved list for pistols and the approved list for rifles. And there is a I give you even who is leading because somebody asked earlier about anything getting close. So the approved pistol list, 4 brands with multiple models ish per brand. So on the pistol list, the number 1 brand, SIG 320s and 365s. Smith & Wesson, the M&P 1.0 and 2.0 of the various sizes, like 5-inch, 4.5, 3.6-inch barrel guys. Glock, that's not all the models. All the 9mm models except for the 43. And none of the other caliber models. And the H&K VP9. And now I think there's like 2 or 3 sizes of those. And the only one that is absolutely like has made the list is the normal, like, foolish size one, because I haven't seen the rest. The gun closest to getting on the list in pistols is yep. Okay. So carrying on to something else. Approved list for rifles. Midwest Industries, Sons of Liberty Gunworks, Lewis Machine and Tool, Colt, Bravo Company. Those are the AR brands. There once was another brand that was on there, but they got removed because of shit quality. And for AKs, Arsenal, Fuller, and which Fuller / Rifle Dynamics. I know they're not together anymore. So I'm sticking with the Fuller or the Fuller era Rifle Dynamics, and Occam for AKs. So there's the list. And I'm pretty sure like SIG could get on there with the MCX line. But I don't see enough of them for them to get there. That's the one I think maybe with the Virtus, there's like 4, and maybe the old MCX there was 5 or 6, but they're not the same gun for me to lump them both in. And now it's like the Spear Light, and because they ditched the Virtus, so that like starts a 3rd model over. And I've only ever seen one of those hanging on a wall, so I can't even begin to put the SIG rifles in that category. Yes, Javier, you should have bought an Occam when they were $1,400. In fact, you should have bought 4 or 5 of them. Shotgun approved list. There is the Mossberg 590 and the Beretta 1301. That's all I got. What other like record or list could we have? What other type of? Yeah, we all wish we had bought Occam's back in the day. You know, I was gonna, but I was waiting for. I didn't want to get an ODS 1775. I wanted to get an ODS 1774. I wanted it to be a 5.45 gun, and I kind of thought those were coming. And we're a few years into that, and they're still not here. So, oops, big whoopser on my part. Zach. Oh, by the way, I saw you guys out in Ohio last weekend. Looked fun. Wish I could have been there. Likewise, wish you could have been here. So that would have been good. Recommended IR laser and illuminator. Ooh, look at Mike with his fucking question there. I unfortunately, like, I've seen some that suck. I've seen some that are good, but I don't have, like, none of them would meet my criteria for like the approved rifle list or pistol list with 10 units, 10 individual units that never have any issues. Mostly because I also don't pay attention to fucking what model D-ball people have. Like, I don't care. But yeah, that's a good question, Mike. Like, I should probably make a video. I hate making videos. I'm more likely to write an article at this point about the ones that I've at least had personal good luck with. Because, like, oh yeah, you know, a mall, you know, they're cool, and but at the price, I don't see me getting anything. Like, my next one for like using it will be a CTF2 from Phantom Hill, because I love the CTF1 and the modularity of the two. If, you know, second rifle with night set up for night vision, I need a second thing. Although I could see Phantom Hill ever comes out with one with tape switchable, it would be even awesomer, more awesomer, or whatever. But until then, yeah, man, I really like the Z Bolt IR illuminator and laser that I saw a prototype of. I also, speaking of which, Tom Hollyby recommended last week a like a knockoff Purst 4, because he was shocked at how good it was for being a knockoff, and so I got one on the way. It'll be here. I think that it said Saturday. I'll at least get to play with it. Not saying I would take a knockoff anything and put it on like a work rifle, but it might be awesome for putting on like a cert gun or a Blackbeard rifle or like a dedicated UTM gun. Because if it gets fucked up getting shot with a UTM, it was a knockoff. It was cheap. So you got a Steiner product you already had to use the warranty for. This is my shocked face. Weapon mounted lights. I don't like rechargeable batteries, so I like 123s. Scout Light Pros are my favorite. I know the dual fuels that are turbos, I guess they're called, came out, and they'll run 123s or 18.6 whatever's 30s, 50s. On the rechargeable, they're supposed to be pretty kick ass, and on the 123s, they're normal. But the Pro mount is fucking awesome. The Z-Bolt LEP lights, which are good for like 1 trillion yards, awesome. Although they don't come with the Pro mount. They have the old style Scout, like with the 2 lugs. I really, really like the Pro mount. The old Streamlight ProTac rail mounts. There's a new one out. Only takes rechargeable batteries, and it's like the size of a fucking mag light. And it's not as like bright as the old ones. So I don't understand that. AAC 77 grain OTM. Dude, I bet you it's the same load as like the Mark 272 from Black Hills. Assuming that they're making that their QC is good, it's probably a pretty fucking precise round. Minimum lumens for a weapon mounted light on a long gun. So I'm trying to remember what I have a ProTac rail mount that's not the HL or HLX. That's probably my weakest output. I don't remember what it is, but it still works plenty well. And even my Vampire, like I have a 1-cell Scout Vampire that on white light mode and not IR mode is not the brightest, but it's surprisingly usable for like what the paper said that it had for lumens. And I know like Candela is actually a better measurement, but I don't even remember what the numbers are, but both of those are my like weakest ones, and I think they're plenty fine. Cloud defensive, great light. You have to use rechargeable batteries. The only thing I don't like with rechargeables is when I unscrew it, the battery that's in it goes to the ground, never to be seen again, which means every time it runs out of juice, it's like $15. And Mike, I will send you a link to the knockoff IR illuminator, knockoff Perst 4 when the live chat is over. Yeah, I would say 100 lumens is kind of weak. I had an old Scout light that was a 2-cell Scout light that's way dimmer than my 1-cell Vampire. And Vampire lights on white light mode are always less powerful than a dedicated white light Scout. So I don't remember how old this one I had was, but it was super weak. And I assume it was just because at the time that was, as bright as they would be. I think I got it in a trade either from Tim Morris or I traded it to Tim Morris. I think I got it from him trading for something else. I don't remember. And then I sold it to somebody. I have not seen the Ariska cantilever mount, which is still got like the two lug mount. The problem with like the 2 lugs is everybody's mount, because I had somebody's cantilever mount. Fuck, it might have been Ariska or Arisaka, however you pronounce it. And like the Midwest ones, it's just that like you can't get like that extra 2 degrees so that the flashlight head touches the rail. I really like tucking them in tight. That Pro mount is the way to go. Modlite makes upgraded heads. I've heard great things about them, and I have used Modlite buttons, like the mod button, and those buttons are awesome. So I assume their lights are awesome and their replacement heads are awesome. I never bought their lights because also the rechargeable thing. And like I said, the lowest output Surefire head I have is a Vampire, and well, the Vampire is awesome that it's a Vampire. So And it's the newer vampire. There was an old vampire where the head was really big, and like there was like the lockout. Like vampires have white off and IR, even the old ones. And the old ones, it was like a ring that you like pulled this way and then would turn. The new one is just a turning head, and the head's way smaller. Uh, it really is like one of my favorite lights, especially if you put a Z Bolt remote cap on it. The only thing is, like the regular Z Bolt cap comes in momentary or clicky, and the one with the tape switch port, so you can do both, only comes in clicky. And like I've heard that there might be a non-clicky version of that because that would be awesome to have the thumb button be non-clicky and a non-clicky tape switch because I don't like clicky on any lights. So anyhow, look at that. We brought it right up to 9:03. That's 1 hour of time. Now we can get the hell out of here and go do stuff. I apparently have to use this laptop right in front of me and go get Mike a link. And everybody else, I guess I will see you next Wednesday. And I'll put the event up for next Wednesday's live chat in the morning, like tomorrow morning, so that you all have some questions. You have some time to festoon me with questions, so we have something to talk about. And maybe I'll try and drum up a special guest. Don't know, because the last special guest I tried to get, like, still hasn't figured out how to use the internet. So instead, I had to pick up a bunch of slackers that were in the chat tonight. So with that, I'll see all you guys later. Thanks for bearing with me when the website was down, and I will see you guys in a week if I don't see you before.